Hello, my name is Patience Johnson, and today I'm going to be doing a presentation for MBA 6000 Organizational Leadership, in which I'll be covering Blackberry Limited. Here's the table of contents. What we're going to be going over are the objectives for the presentation, the company overview for Blackberry Limited, their problem statement, the analysis of issues, these being culture, leadership, and ethics, recommendations for their continued success in the market, and implementation strategies to put forth these recommendations, followed by the conclusion. First, the objective of this presentation is to provide more information about Blackberry Limited and to analyze the issues threatening the success of Blackberry, both internally and externally in the current market. To recommend a new strategy to help the organization remain competitive, and explaining how these solutions will affect the organizational culture, leadership, and ethics while increasing the probability for success. First, we'll have a company overview. Blackberry Limited was founded in 1985 by Mike Lazardus. The original name of the company was Research in Motion. In short, they used RIM. Um, they actually started developing the first smartphone in 1996, but the first smartphone was actually launched in 1999. This was the Blackberry 850. The Blackberry 850 had capabilities such as email, video, photo, web browsing, and instant message. Instant message was really popular in Blackberry in the early 2000s. They had the Blackberry Messenger, in which you could message across a platform with other Blackberry users, and it was encrypted with a PIN code, which was a passcode that only you had. This was BlackBerry is very well known for enhanced encryption technology. It is the only mobile phone allowed for use by the president, Barack Obama. It was also used by presidential candidate and former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and Eric Schmidt, CEO of Google. There was a large variety of BlackBerry products at one point. Now they are down to 4 actual BlackBerry products, not including the software. In 2013, they hired John Chen as the CEO to revive and refocus the company. Their problem statement. BlackBerry's problem statement is they are faced with many issues internally and externally. So first, they suffered from a tremendous loss of sales, um, over $127 million last year alone. This is reflected in their outdated designs in their hardware. Customers now in this generation, a lot of millennials, like customization and innovation. So they like to be continuously wowed. And BlackBerry relies a lot on nostalgia. They rely on their security, and this is really outdated to the new generation. The customers no longer see the value of the security alone. So they cannot just rely on BlackBerry's encryption like they once did during the big internet boom when it was mainly Wall Street workers. Now you have the average Joe who uses the smartphone and they're looking for a little bit more. The company must decide whether to refocus all of their efforts on the security software program or whether or not they will be able to produce a profitable smartphone. Um, with this comes the increased competition of Android and iOS. Android is run across many, many platforms, not to include mobile, tablets, and even Chromebooks utilize Android. You have Android apps within your computer browsers. So you really are facing a lot of pressure from Android, and also the more popular iOS system, which is Apple, operated by Apple, and a lot of Apple iPhones, all of Apple iPhones run on iOS, and it is right now the preferred product. So, troubling financial reports. BlackBerry has been in trouble financially since around 2011 when they started a decline. As you can see from the graph, they were pretty consistent in increase of sales until around 2011, and then you see 2013 is when they brought in John Chen. This is when they started losing a lot of money. um, they had 85 million subscribers in 2013, which is down to only 23 million in March 2016. In 2013, they implemented a massive layoff of almost 4,500 people in all their offices globally. So, analysis of the issues. A cultural issue that BlackBerry deals with and is dealing with and facing is the rigid and outdated designs. It scares away the casual customers. BlackBerry is known as being secure, and their culture is based around security. If you ever see their CEOs and their workers, they look more like Wall Street bankers. They're very um, rigid and very professional at all times. They really uh, don't have as much innovation as the places like you see Apple and Google, where their culture is more laid back. It fosters growth, and really new ideas are always being pumped out because it's a more relaxed environment. They have a leadership issue. BlackBerry once operated with two CEOs in separate sectors, and this was really difficult um, in terms of communication. It often fostered misunderstandings between departments. Engineering could not communicate with marketing, marketing could not communicate with other overheads, budgeting. So this really ran over into the lack of marketing and meeting customer needs, because if engineers cannot communicate with the marketers and with the public relations and the upper management, they're not able to understand what customers are really looking for in their products. And this attributed to a lot of the failure on the hardware side of BlackBerry. In the ethics department, BlackBerry is relatively known for their stable ethical culture. They really don't have too many um, litigations or anything of that sort. Um, but the rush to the board, excuse me, the rush to the boardroom may cause areas that require fine tuning to be rushed in order to meet deadlines. This means that corners may be cut when people are faced with a problem on their production side. Oftentimes, there is a push for products and a push um, for new ideas to come out immediately, and this can cause a lot of ethical concern when it comes, especially for a company who is well known for their security. So ethics is definitely an issue that they will be faced. My recommendations for BlackBerry is to stick to what you know. Is leverage your strength. So the strength of BlackBerry is ultimately their security and their software. Their BlackBerry 10 software right now is being used by many different federal government employees. They're contracted with the federal government um, to provide a lot of their communications. So if they continue along this path, I say adding cloud computing. So providing cloud computing by utilizing their security attributes. Amazon.com makes hundreds of millions of dollars every year in cloud computing, and they are not as well known as BlackBerry is for security. So I think they can definitely get into the market of cloud computing with very little hardware design. A lot of it will just be software engineering, which they are pretty good at. Also, allow other mobile companies to license BlackBerry security software. Um, Now that BlackBerry 10 is able to be used on Android devices, I think that BlackBerry could find a way to penetrate an entirely different market by licensing out their security software. This goes along with their current fee for service based security software. They're currently under contract with a company in Indonesia where they provide software for their communications. And as of September 28th, 2016, which is not too long ago, the company, the CEO, John Chen, announced that they would not be providing, not be developing any more smartphones. I think by producing the one smartphone that they're utilizing now, the Priv, um, and operating on a strict deadline with realistic goals is the way to go. Um, Ways to implement these recommendations, or the implementation strategy, is first they have to be very clear about their objectives, goals, and initiatives. So BlackBerry must be recognized again as a power player in the global market. Right now, they're operating behind the scenes. They're not really as well known as when they had many products like the BlackBerry PDA, the BlackBerry Curve, the BlackBerry Pearl. Um, so an objective and a goal is to be back front and center. They have to have a 1 year time frame for a new BlackBerry launch. So the Priv was launched in 2015, and John Chen made an announcement that he would like for the hardware section to show some promise in 2016. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be much about evaluating the current mobile device. I say at a 3, 6, 9, and 12 month period, allowing to analyze each quarter. Acting on these goals and initiatives, so they must allocate their resources more efficiently. No more than 10% of the annual budget should be allocated towards hardware. They are constantly losing money. Actually, last year, they were able to increase their revenue, but this was only done by the software department. So the software department was able to recoup the losses that were created by the hardware department. So the funds need to be allocated more efficiently. And the primary focus should be launched on the fee for service. So the primary focus in manpower and money should really be shifted towards the more profitable projects. In a way to review and analyze these is to continuously monitor sales, continuously monitor the decline so that the budgets can be adjusted. Benchmarks should be set and held firm to determine the true profitability. This means not moving markers when you see a spike in sales or a decline. This means setting firm goals, and if those goals aren't met, then the project has to be um, ended. And then, as I said, the budget should be increased and reviewed on a quarterly basis. 3, 6, 9, and 12 month is the basis for the quarterly review. And this ends my presentation on BlackBerry. For any questions, you can reach me by email or through comment on our wiki page. Thank you.